Well, today I'm joined by Alex Koff from Venable from the United States, and we thought it would be really interesting to have a discussion about the UK and US's version of the natural claims that you see on products. And natural, I think, has attracted a great deal of interest both sides of the Atlantic as to how product manufacturers can use it and how consumers or how consumers perceive those natural claims. And I think what's really interesting is that neither here in the UK or in the US there is any legislation that specifically governs natural claims. Is that right, Alex?
Well, in the United States we have the FDA, the Food and Drug Administration, and there's no formal guidance. So the FDA issues regulation or issues formal guidance, and that regulation will then, because of primary jurisdiction of the FDA, assist courts in adjudicating claims and help guide manufacturers and consumers in understanding what natural means. And there's been informal guidance that's been issued, but there's been no federal preemption of particular state claims or guidance about what natural really means in the United States. So to that extent, yeah, there's been no issuance of a ruling.
And that informal guidance, what kind of help does that give in terms of natural claims?
That helps define what it means. Let me give you an example. In the United States, we have natural claims, and then we also have organic claims. Organic is more defined, it's regulated, people understand what it means. Consumers, studies have shown, believe that natural means that there's no pesticides, but that may not be the case, in fact, because natural isn't defined. So what it really means is really open to interpretation, and because it's open to interpretation, there's been sufficient uncertainty, and that legal realm of uncertainty leads to significant amounts of litigation.
So sort of similarly over here, we have guidance that exists, and in fact most member states in the European Union have some guidance as to what natural means, and it's pretty similar. And natural tends to be applied to single product foods or foods that have been minimally processed or traditionally processed. So typical processing would be things like chopping and sieving, baking, traditional fermentation, those type of things would allow you then to use the term natural on your product. But products that are more heavily processed or involve a greater degree of manufacturing are unlikely to meet the definition of natural. But what you see much more of is therefore people looking at the ingredients that go into the product. Can they actually apply natural to the ingredients? So made with natural ingredients, naturally sourced ingredients. And the guidance sort of suggests that there's a little bit more leeway there in terms of the types of processing that would be permitted for you to make those type of claims on your product.
Right. So in the United States, it's very interesting. In the United States, they even go one step farther with some of these issues. So you've seen the plaintiff bar because there's no guidance. In the context of yogurt, there was a case in the Eastern District of New York which was dismissed. And typically these claims are either dismissed because they're too attenuated, like in the yogurt case. The claim was brought that, for instance, grain was genetically modified, which wasn't natural. And then that grain was fed to the cow, which then produced the milk, which may have produced the product. And as a result, the product itself, the claim was, could not carry the natural claim. And at other times, you've seen claims, primarily on the West Coast, oftentimes, where they've been stayed. So they're pending results of formal guidance, and that's expected soon. And FDA Commissioner Scott Gottlieb has come out and said, you know, watch this space. We'll be issuing things because we understand that we need to provide some guidance here. So that's something that people are expecting or readily anticipating.
So that will be interesting because presumably when that guidance comes out, that may mean a number of manufacturers need to either change their labeling or reformulate their products.
Yeah, I think it will impact the industry, and that's something that people should pay close attention to. And it will also affect all the cases that have been stayed and all the claims that have been out there.
That's great. Well, thanks very much, Alex.
Thanks for having me.